Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Reset Coffee Convos. I'm your host, John Voelz, and we have with us today, we have Albina, I love saying that name, Suarez-Ojedis. Did I say it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you said it perfect.
I love it. My name's so easy and boring. So I love that I love your name.
Your personality is nothing but boring. So you make up for it, you know?
well, thank you. Well, Albina is running for one of the open seats for the city council, specifically District 3. I'm correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And there are 3 of you that are running for that district. So Albina, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I've never met you. We've never had a conversation. So this will be fun for me. Tell us about yourself and give us a little bit of your elevator pitch, you know, just who you are and what we can expect.
So obviously I have an accent. So I'm from I'm from I was born in Siberia. Oh. So I love it here in California, you know. Oh. But I moved to United States 16 years ago. I became a citizen, I think 10 years ago.
Okay.
I've been living in Folsom for about 5 years. Before that, we lived in El Dorado Hills.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
I have a background in journalism, in media communications. I do media communications for Aesthetic Clinic. We have, it's like a beauty clinic. We do Botox, fillers, all that beauty stuff. And I do all media communications. And I decided to run for city council because I just want to get involved in public work, and I want to be involved politically. I want to be a part of the body of government that makes decisions. Like one thing is we're living and life is happening to us and we have no involvement, no say what's happening in our city. And so I want to be able to say what I think, what my friends think, what my fellow moms think. And so anyway, I didn't think it was such a big deal, but I mean, I didn't think it was, I didn't think it was so scary. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Not a big deal that it's not, it is very important, but I didn't I got email, with like the side of politics we don't want to see. And I didn't think, I just didn't use, you see it on the news, you see it happening but I just didn't think it was happening here in Folsom. You know, I saw we're quiet, small town. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. So are you saying you've already encountered opposition or are you?
Yeah, like I got email. I can't remember, and I'm not going to say the names, you know, but it basically said, my name is so-and-so, and I want to let you know that I have compromising info on your opponent. And if you and your lawyer, which I don't have a lawyer, but anyway, he said, you and your lawyer are interested, your opponent, I have proof and paperwork of their committing, I think he said fraud or something, you know, some activities. And I think it would be best if we meet in Starbucks. Yeah.
Well, the worst part of that is they chose the wrong coffee shop to meet in. They should have chose my
Yes. I love it. Yes, yes. See, exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you for agreeing to speak today. Maybe you could tell us as a newcomer with fresh eyes, somebody who has not been, a former city council member or has not run for office here. Maybe you could tell us what your new eyes see for this city. Where do you think we need to improve? What are the things that you would be passionate about if you were in office?
And you get it. Like, that's the value of a newcomer. It's exactly the new, fresh eyes. Somebody who hasn't gotten involved into all these little special interests, and so it's very simple. I just want to have a beautiful Folsom. I want to have a beautiful Palladio. I want to walk in historic Folsom downtown with my kids, have coffee, interesting things happen. I want our town to be safe. I don't want not feel safe when my kids go home from school, because there's a lot of homeless, a lot of crime on the cities. That's what's happening in Rancho. That's what's happening in Sacramento. Yeah, I just want to live I'm a mom. I have 2 boys. I just want to, I live here because I love it. It's clean, it's quiet. All the people are nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel like the city is safe now at this point?
I feel it's safe. I want to keep, I want to, okay. I have felt that it was safe. And that's one of the reasons that I started thinking about politics more, because I started seeing more homeless, and I've helped homeless myself. There was like a homeless man sleeping outside Safeway. I bought him a sandwich, and I went and I told the Safeway manager, because I felt bad for him. He was in the sun in the summer. I didn't know if he was getting overheated and if he was unconscious. But me and my fiance, we were in historic Folsom downtown. We were in Powerhouse. We were listening to some band in the summer. And it was this past summer. I don't remember which band, but we came out and we were walking, where there's this little train, that old train. And so we were by there, and there was the homeless man, and we were just talking to each other and laughing. And then he's looked at us, and then he's like, "Are you laughing at me?" And he started confronting. He took out a knife. He took a knife, and it wasn't a little knife. So my fiance, then he was making fun of it later on. He's like, "Oh, it was like a cake knife, to make me feel more relaxed about it." But it was a huge knife. It was so scary. I pulled my fiance off. I said, let's go. He wanted to talk to the man. I said, no, let's go. Pulled him off, and then I was crying so much because it was so scary. And it happened here in Folsom. I think it wouldn't be such a traumatizing experience for me if I was in San Francisco or Sacramento. It's areas where you expect to be on guard. You expect, you being very defensive. But here, it's summers, we walk, there's police, the music, everyone walks. Folsom Hotel, Powerhouse, it feels so safe. So that experience was very, very, I cried.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry for that experience. And I'm sure, so it was just out of the ordinary for you. It's unexpected. Um, Obviously, I don't think that you would say that, you know, all homeless are violent or anything.
No, 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 no,
You're just saying that
no.
it was a unique experience to the folks.
Unique experience, yes. And yeah.
What so there, we do have to address the issue of homelessness in our city. Do you have ideas on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are?
I just had my friend Ada Di Ferrari. She lives here in Folsom. She's actually international designer, and she sells leather belts. She has factories in Argentina. It's actually very cool, and then she ships them from here, from Folsom. But she just came back from Europe, where they, spent summers, and she was telling me that she said, "Albina, there's no homeless in there," and then it's not like that. Europe is so different, and then she started telling me that she was talking to somebody, to a European, and asking about that. How come you guys like don't have this on your streets? And then he said, with a lot of compassion, he said, and that's what I love, how this issue was solved, He said, we don't think of homeless people as, some kind of trash. We think of them as people that need help. They need, for whatever reasons, their mental health and or their physical health happened that for whatever reasons they are not able to provide shelter over their heads, or be a functioning member of society. So we find them help. We put them in the hospitals. If they like hospitals, so that they have psychologists, they have psychiatrists help with them, talk to them. Or if it's a physical, the problem is physical health, they have doctors help them, but they listen to them. That's the thing. It's like they're people just like us, and we don't need to be confrontational with them. We just need to be humans, and we need to reach out, and we just need to sit next to him and talk to that guy. What happened? Like, why you feel so scared, or what's happening to you? Why do you pull a knife on a couple that are just so far from you and they're laughing? That man is, aside from being, perhaps a danger to other people, because he didn't actually do anything. He didn't chase us with a knife or anything. But yeah, so they give them help. If it's, yeah. So that's how they solve it. They don't just think, oh, let's move the camp, let's clear the encampment, and that's, and no encampment, let's pass a law, and there's no encampments allowed. And then, but they're people. So I think people forget about, people forget what the problem with politics. Everybody gets all their special interests involved. They forget about, this.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Albina, so you've been here, you said 5 years in Folsom?
Yeah.
Correct about that? Okay. So you've seen more recent conversations about like our city expansion south of 50. What are your ideas about growth? Are you a proponent of the city's growth? If so, what would that look like when it comes to issues of growth? how do you approach that, and what are your thoughts?
So I think with the growth, we need to make sure everything is functioning. It's not about the growth, it's about what's working, making sure we have what we have now, if it's working for the current residents, that we have enough police, we have enough resources, we have enough, I don't know, city budget for roads, for parks. And it's not about, like, we don't need to be concentrating on, you know, do we need to be, we just need to, what we have now, if it's working, everybody's taken care of, okay, then if there's a proposal to build more construction, okay, let's consult with people that live here, with everyone, is it a good idea? What's the pros and cons? If it's good, okay, let's, you know, and if it's, so I think everything is growing. I mean, it's like you can't be opponent of growth, right? It's inevitable.
Yeah,
but
do you think it's possible to do both things at the same time, to grow and also fix what may or may not be broken in this?
Yeah, I think the concentration should be on fixing things first. That should be a priority.
Okay. What do you think is broken?
Okay, so number one, we don't have a united voice. We have no like media channel. We have, and I'm talking, and tell me if you think I'm wrong. You know, that's why it's great to have a conversation. That's why I appreciate what you're doing. But I think, and I represent this, you know, the generation 30s, you know, late 20s. It's like disconnect. We're not, it's like disconnect. I don't know. I think older generations, it's people in 50, 60, they probably read, and more people that are more involved, you know, like you know, you're aware citizen, but a lot of people are not. And a lot of people, unless there's like an easy media channel that is engaging, that represents everyone, that is interesting to watch, because people don't have patience to be watching anything boring or to be reading boring things, you know, like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't wanna I don't want to appear a fool, you know.
No, that's fine. So
but
so communication vehicles is what you're saying.
Yeah, that is interesting, engaging. Like we have, I went, and I don't want to, like, I have a lot of opinions, but I don't want to say a lot of things, because then I think I'm gonna step on somebody's toes that's gonna be watching it, you know. Then I'm gonna get all this backlash. But I think the existing media that we have needs to be more engaging, more audience oriented, target audience, which they should be involving my target age. You know, we should be involved 20s. We should be involving our young people, you know, 18, 19, early 20s. We should be involved. They're the future. They're going to be taking over. If we're not going to get them involved, it's going to be like, you know, it's going to be sad. It's like there's some great villages in some parts of the world, and it's a great village, and it's has such ancient traditions, and it's happiness, and it's based on all the right principles. But when the elders fail to engage with younger generations, those younger people, they because they didn't create that connection with them, then they move out into urban cities, you know, New York City. And then what happens to that village? It dies because there is nobody to take over. So all those values, all these great things are going to be known. That's why it's so important to engage our young people. It's not just, I know it sounds silly when you say it shouldn't be boring, but there is a great meaning behind it. You know, it's not just because, you know, it's not just, oh, make everything fun, make everything, but there is a meaning behind. We have to engage in whatever it takes. If it's video games, let's engage them with video games, you know?
I appreciate that. Since I'm in my young 30s, I'm joking. I'm not that young at all. I have children in the 30s, so.
I would have believed if you said in your 30s, I would have believed it, you know?
Oh, well,
this is a great trick.
I'll go with that next.
This is a great trick.
Oh,
you know?
huge trick. Exactly.
Even if you're 70, you can say, you know.
That's right. Just
put a big hat, sunglasses, beard, and you can say you're 30.
Yeah. Well, then I'll keep growing it. It hides a lot of ugly too. So, hey, you mentioned police officers somewhere as you were speaking. I think we were talking about fixing things or expansion, making sure that everything is taken care of. What are your thoughts on our current state with our police officers? Are you a proponent of expanding the police force?
Yeah, I think our police officers are struggling. We have a lot of new construction, and we have not been able to give proper funding to the police department. As the city grows, it's a must. That police department, it's a must that it has to expand. Police officers are not just some kind of soldiers that are, you know, that are disciplining you. They're also helping us a lot, like directing traffic. The kids, you know, when we have events, like all this organization, when we had Folsom Rodeo, who does a lot of all that organizing? Our police officers. Like they do so much work that goes unnoticed by them, unless something big, criminal, you know, this police show kind of stuff happens. They do so much, and we really have to make sure, as we're expanding our city, that our police department expands, because our safety, the well-being of our city depends on law and order, basically.
Yeah. Where does that money come from to expand?
Supporting law, I mean, and that's why we gotta be working with Folsom Chamber of Commerce, supporting local business like yours, you know, making sure that I don't, like, it should be, your coffee shop should be in Palladio, you know, like our local business has to be, we need to give as much encouragement, as much publicity. And that's why I'm saying we need to have like a better media channel. We need to give publicity to our local business, because it is in the best interest of the city to have small, Folsom owner business flourish.
Excellent. Is there anything that you're very, very passionate about right now? What's that thing that keeps you up at night thinking about it for our city?
For the city?
Yeah.
I'm I really think that as we have all this new construction happening, I think like it should be, we have to keep aesthetics in mind. You know, like it needs to be, you can make a building, you know, the building right now, I don't know if you can hear the noise, but we have outside, it's across Palladio, they're building, I think it's a hotel.
Okay.
Not a hotel. Last I asked them, it was it was retail shops, and I think apartment building with retail shops.
Okay. I don't know exactly where you're talking about, so I'm sorry.
Across from Palladio.
Okay.
Right across from Nordstrom.
Right.
There's,
yeah. I don't know what that is. I should find out.
oh, okay. Next time you drive,
I should find out.
Now, if you look right on the other side of Nordstrom Rack.
Okay.
Of Bidwell, the other side of Bidwell.
Next time I'm at Nordstrom Rack, I forgot. I don't go to Nordstrom Rack.
Yeah, but I think,
all apologies to Nordstrom.
I just keep thinking about this architectures, how grows these great cities, Dubai, New York City, Chicago. It is expansion. It is about having space, interesting businesses, interesting tourists, but it's also about, like, we can build a buildings that looks like this, like every other building, but if it doesn't take much effort, what if we make it look modern, you know, interesting? Well, I think like architecture, cities architecture, that I just, when I first came to Folsom, I drove so, and it captivated me.
Mm-hmm.
So
you think currently we do a good job of beautification and architecture?
Yeah. I think so. I think our new our existing architecture is beautiful, but I don't know what's being built.
Gotcha.
And that's another thing, is like a lot of people don't know what's happening. A lot of things are being built. Nobody knows if it's a hotel, if it's another apartment building, if it's, people are just not involved. There's a lot of people, they don't even know what's, and it's not their fault, John. That's what it's. What do you think?
Oh, I get to ask the questions here. Look at you turning it around on me like a reporter that you are. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan of beautification and art. I mean, I'm an artist. I can't not think of, you know, I think we should always be designing like we care, you know. So
but
I don't know that it would be my number one concern, or the thing that keeps me up at night, but I appreciate that you're honest about that. And yeah, I super appreciate your thoughts on that, that you care about those things.
I'm being 100% myself. I don't have anything to lose, you know. I really, that's a good thing. When you run with good intentions, I give it my best. I have good intentions. I have noble heart. I do that out of the goodness of my heart, for real. And so if I don't get picked, people don't vote for me, I did the best I could. I'm not gonna be, yeah. So
I applaud you for that. That's very refreshing to hear. Thank you for that. Can we, one of the things that's come up in conversation is a potential sales tax increase in our area. Would you be a proponent of something like that? or what are the issues surrounding that?
So I think increase in sales tax has to be really justifiable. It cannot be, and that's why government and the city officials have to communicate with people and like, so that people, you can't just do something and raise tax and nobody knows what it's for, how is it justifiable, how is it going to help anybody, and raise it. So if it's justifiable, but then it's got to be communicated. It's like, you know, if I can pay a little bit more, but my life is going to be better, my kids are going to be protected, our city is going to flourish, I'll gladly give that, you know, I'll gladly pay that higher tax. But if I don't know what it's for, I disagree how the money is spent, it's against my principle, my beliefs, then of course I would be unhappy.
Do you feel like you're a team player? Like you get along well with other people, and maybe even on this council, people that you?
I think I am. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. You know, I can't be outside of me, but I think everybody at work loves me. You know. I don't want to brag, but
no, this is the time to brag. You're running for office. Yeah.
But I think I've always been involved. I came here, went to college, first community college to save money. Then I went to the transfer to the 4-year university, and at every of my school I've always been involved. I've been running international student club in the community college. I was a vice president, and I transferred to a 4-year college. I became a president of International Student Association. I was in the African Student Association. You know, it sounds, but you don't have to be an African to be an African student. You just have to have an interest. But the point is that I would always get along with everyone from other countries, because I have a passion for people, John. It truly is. I love learning people. I think that's why I picked to be a journalist. I love interviewing. I love having just find out what makes this person special. I think that's my passion. I love people. I think everybody is so unique. Everyone is a gift of God. It's like a diamond, only it's like no other in the world, you know? So I think I'm a team player.
Thank you. The other two that are running for this seat in your district have been around Folsom for a while. Great people, as you are. Why do you think, if you can name one thing, what is it that your district should consider you for and say that you are the right person for this seat?
I think it's what you said in the beginning of the interview. You said you want a fresh pair of eyes. So I think I'm that fresh pair of eyes.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, and to be clear, I wasn't, I mean, just by nature of being here for only 5 years, I think that you have fresh pair of eyes. I wasn't thinking that necessarily gives you an advantage. I'm trying to be fair to everyone.
Yeah, I understand.
But I do appreciate that. That's wonderful. Okay, Now I'm going to ask you a fun question. It has nothing to do with this campaign because I'm asking everybody this question. This is a section I call Politicians Answer Medical Questions. So here,
usually they ask the toughest questions at the end, you know? So I got like...
I'm going to let you off the hook at the end is what I'm going to do. So do you think I need Botox?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I'll trust you.
Botox is what
What about now? Now do I need Botox?
No, I think Botox, you know, if you have a frown, if you like, you know, always very grouchy, when you start getting a frown, then that helps you.
Okay, then I'll send you a list of people I think need to get Botox.
Okay.
I'm joking. Oh my goodness. Albina, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And good luck on your journey here. And it's been great getting to know you. And it's been fun.
Thank you, John. It's very nice to me. I'm looking forward to my coffee.
Yes, please come in. And when you come in,
I will.
Ask if I'm there when you come in.
Okay.
Hello.
For sure. Thank you, John.
All right.
Nice to meet you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.